Good morning. Good morning, Xenocron. How you doing? Dang, you're first today. I think I'm a little late, actually. Usually I start about half hour earlier. Bear Duda. Bear CTY 360. How much time you got left on that, Nick? One week. Countdown begins. What are you doing next? Is it always just spontaneous? Something fun and permanent? Oh, permanent. That's commitment, man. I don't know. Okay, all these are good. All right, let's get going. Let's see where we ended up yesterday. All right. So I was considering the widgets the other day, right? Like the admin tiles, stuff like that. If we go into pages admin, our admin page, we've got a set of widgets that are listed here. And we could have widgets that redirect if you don't have permissions. So let's make one, which I don't know what to call it. Um, let's see, permission redirect, or we just call it redirect. There. And we're going to have some sort of content here and then permission. Oops, that should be in double quotes. Then an array of permissions. So this one will get inserted and executed if you have or don't have certain permissions. So in this case, if we say if you don't have admin or view admin, so let's go back into permissions. Oh, we're calling admin view. Okay. So if you don't have admin view, in the administration page, we're going to redirect you. And we could set a flash for this. Well, what was the config token that we were using on that? Props. We're using props. Looks like it's message in level. I'm just going to deserialize this as a flash object. Maybe we say props flash is this object. I know it's object nesting here, but this should be good. Property expected. Uh-oh. I'm missing a paren. No, a curly brace. There we go. And then I think some of these, like admin tiles, right? We should be able to say, oh, your permissions are that you have admin view, right? Same with admin header. A lot of these things here. So we have two pieces to implement, permissions piece and the widgets for redirect. Hmm. I don't remember how we get the props inside the widget. Oh well, we'll figure it out. Let's create a redirect template. Sorry. And what are we going to use? Just want something small here. Let's grab Flash. So redirect is going to be a little bit different because, well, it doesn't return much. Okay. So this actually does nothing except for redirect you. And it has to do that before the async block's returned. And set that up in template mod. Oh, no, no, no. It's in models page. Here we go. See, in this case, the widget is actually passed in, and we have to do the same thing for this. That seems like it should be there. Here's admin tiles. All right, it just wasn't set up. Redirect. Yeah. I wonder about this here. Like, at what point should the permissions be inside the widget? Like so. Right, at this point, it could just be an error. Right? Or we could completely omit that and leave it in the page configs, like so, right? Just make sure that they have some sort of property here. I wonder if they should be able to return a permission. Hmm. Okay, we'll have to think about that. But for now, I think we're going to get rid of that. We're going to have the tiles here. They're going to be limited based on permissions in the JSON file. All right, that should be all right. Now here, we actually want the widget and the event. What type is that? Oh, it's just a reference to a widget? Fine. We look at the props, find the one we want. Okay, we're probably going to change that up a little bit. Fix me on there or to do. I use fix me everywhere else. Might as well use it there. Hey, Tommy Luco, how's it going? Quick hi before you got to get to work again? Well, good morning. Yes, welcome. We're working on permissions today. I think that it's going to be a good setup. We're going to have permissions. You'll be able to negate permissions. Say, oh, only render this widget if you do not have admin view permission, right? And same thing, you should be able to do the opposite with the others, right? Like admin header and admin tiles, right? Redirect you. How to install Gen 2 within 15 minutes. High-speed drives. The joke is worth 1,000 points. Scripted out. Yeah. Remember when we used to install operating systems from CD-ROM? That was fast back in the day. And then floppy disks. Installing Windows from your set of, was it 7 disks for 95? Was it 3 disks for Windows 3.1? It's 1.25. I don't remember. Let's go look. How many? Six. There we go. Six disks for 3.1. Oh my goodness. Using Rust bin, kernel bin, and just keep it absolute minimal. $13 for Windows 95. Wow. High capacity floppies. That's funny. All right. Random meandering. So we're going to have the widget here. Then based on the widget, what do we have here? We have props. That's key value. Why isn't this something else like permissions or something? Because we could save that in post data. I mean, post data is really just this wrapper around these. So we have these nice little functions for these for a vector. Maybe post data should be a trait, and it's implemented for vector. All right, we are going to do a work in progress. We're just going to stage some stuff because this is going to get bad. You could use Tiny Core Linux and install it from a floppy. 21 megabytes? That's really big. Hold on a sec. Okay, let's commit that. What else do we have? Dun, dun, dun. The rest of this is work in progress. Maybe we should stash that. I don't use stash in here. Let's see. Files to stash. No. Where did it go? Toggle untracked. Wait, 2, 3. Cancel. Get status. Oh, toggle untracked. I get it. So we can have the untracked files actually show up in here. Okay, so we're not stashing the untracked ones. Oh, that's helpful. All right, I think the rest of this is going to be stashed. It comes with a GUI and offloads more to RAM than it needs on disk space. Even something complex as ESXi hypervisor is 1 gigabyte USB. Yeah. Yeah, Linux is getting a little bloaty. I know that there are smaller distros for Linux because they use them on very small systems too. I'm just wondering whether or not this here. Okay, save. Work in progress. Permissions. Well, 4 stashes. There we go. I think this one down here is actually empty, but I don't know. Anyhow. Okay, back to the editor. We're going to change this. Pub rate host data. We're going to implement that for vector. Manjaro uses out of the box something crazy like 30 gigs. Woo. Yes, that is. Windows Phone had 30 gigs of install as well. Remember the Windows Phone? If you got like the 64 gigabyte model, half of it was dedicated to the to the operating system. Wow. Okay, we're getting rid of that. That goes away. We need these functions in there. Can I even do that here? Oh, I didn't get the lines. Here. Set, get, take. And validate. Oops, wrong place, actually. Goes here. Yes. All right, so we would need a post data iterator. The TL distro incoming. Hey, Commander Thrashton, how you doing? Do I know what Incursus is? I do. It's a terminal library. Does Rust have bindings to it? I don't know. All right. Let's see. It looks like it does. A couple. And there's a number of different things. And Curses has a whole UI framework, right? Because if you're looking for something else, probably looking more for if you want something native. So you would basically look in here at the TUI, text UI library list, and there's a bunch of options. Right, TUI is one. Cursive is one that this is using over here. We've used it. I think I used TUI once. There's cursive core. Yeah, there's a bunch of different ones in here. The new Firefox update on macOS gives you such performance issues. I haven't noticed any. Like when I click up here, it was giving me an issue yesterday. I don't know why though. But yeah, lib.rs is a great way to find crates. When you don't know the name, you just know properties about them, so you can search by the keywords. And they've got some good stats here, right? They show version number with some sort of heuristic for green to red and orange, etc. And then also the number of downloads. That's probably more telling, right? Doesn't crates.io do that? Let's double check. So if I search for TUI, it's going to show me TUI first. This is more name as opposed to a keyword. Is there some sort of magic in the search bar I can do for that? Because here it's searching much more on just the keywords. A bindless library for manipulating terminals. Oh, interesting. Oh, no, yeah. Crates.io doesn't do that. Yeah, it looks all right. Yeah, text UI for yeah, that does look nice. All right, so then we just need almost there. We should probably come up with a better name. Well, like at least a type alias. Maybe rename this too. All right, but what about this? What about this iterator? So we're getting all of them of a certain kind, right? Obstruct. Get all iter. So instead, this is going to return a get all iter. How do we just pass this through? going to need lifetimes here. That's going to be needed here and there too, isn't it? See, this I think what we're going to have is the data, which will be a reference. Because string slice. Then we'll have the name. And those technically are separate lifetimes. Okay. This one is A. Yes, this one's A. Because that's coming out of the data. Enough twitching for now? Time to get back to work. You have a good... Oh, thank you. Thank you, Undefined Lamb. And happy Monday. So we can create a new one of these. Pass in the reference to that. Import iterator. And can we... See, here we're doing self-data, but we're going to have to iterate over these manually. Incrementing iter, going to the next one, seeing if it matches. If it does, return it. So first things, if index is greater than or equal to data.length, return none. Right? Oh, self. So if we just loop here, we should be able to see, okay, have we exceeded the bounds? And that, so first one's going to be 0, right? We'll come through. If 0 is greater than or equal to that, we return. Otherwise, we get the value for that index. And then at the very end, okay, let's get the value. If self.data self.index, I guess. See, at this point, we actually have to increment it. Let's rename this. Let's change this to I. We're gonna have a local there. And then what we're going to do is increment self.index right away. All right, for next time around. And inside of things like this, we'll just use I. That way we don't have to worry about incrementing. If it matches, then we return it. And that should be a reference to that, right? As stir. Yeah. Now we need a constructor for this guy. Generate new. We want everything in there except for that. Okay. Index is just going to be 0. Always start at 0. Self. It's a reference to self like so and the name. All right. And all right. We'll get back to the lifetime issues in that. And now for the renaming. It is so specific to this. What's a good name for this? Right. We basically have it's an alternative to a map. So maybe vec map. Uh, A little sketchy. Okay, that's a horrible name, but luckily we can refactor that later. And this vector map is... Okay, vector map there. I'm going to leave post data for now. We just need some names on those. All right, so there we have vec map. Oh, it's plural, templates. Oh, it is not plural. Okay. So this thing here, instead of take vec map, and why isn't this, how do we use this? I feel like we should have implemented some sort of map interface for it. A hash map implemented with quadratic probing and SIMD lookup. Whoa. Dad, what's that? Good morning. How you doing? Looks like we're working on vector map today. Perfect. All right. Event of post data data await. Because it's returning that instead of a vec map. Yeah, we'll import that. Good. Ah, yes. Inside here, we shouldn't do self.data. All of these .datas should just be self. Except for this one. This one does need to be self.data. Lifetime mismatch. Okay. So we have A and B. I think we can separate these out now. And that we do not need to have A and B dependent on each other at this point. Data from name is returned here. Wait, you can't find get all iter in the scope? Struct is not supported in trait or trait bulk. Consider moving the struct out to a nearby module scope. Oh, this is a new error. Had to be before it. Oh, that's weird. Free function without a body. Form validation. Oh, unclosed delimiter. Check usually tells us much more precisely what's going on there. Unclosed delimiter. Oh, on get. Okay, on the trait. That is so much more helpful. Yep. Yep. Set and validate. And at this point, we have some name collisions because it's a vector. Well, we could get rid of some of these. Yeah, we'll have to think about this. Do we want to keep that like that and override those? Yeah, same there. Okay. What else do we have? Let's ignore that and clean up the rest for a moment. Import that. Template user delete. Ah, yes. Hmm. All right. Now we have these two errors. That and once we fix those, we're gonna have quite a bit more. Um, you know what? I like the name better, but I don't like the changes we did here. I think this was a decent change. Having a named return on that. Basically, I'm trying to hide the other functions that are on that vector. Oops, that's a self.append. A value. Now we need a new for that. Oh, vecmap should have validate. Oh, it's private. That's right, because that was a trait just moments ago. There we go. And this should be transparent. All right. From post data. I can't. This song is a little all too whispery, creepy. Okay. Oh, nice. Now we can use the same thing here. Self.errors.iter. Actually, we just want to know if it exists. So we could say self.errors.get, whatever the name is sum. What does get return? An option to a string. That works. Hmm. Is empty. That's an interesting one to pass through. Oh, interesting. Self.errors. We don't have a way to just take the whole thing, do we? Yeah, like an intuitor, right? Type into iter. What? This is the vector one? Array option. Iter mute. Centered slice iter mute. Okay. I wonder if we're going to have to pass that through. So what is the lifetime of A for? The item? What does the item need a lifetime? I guess it's returning iter mute, so it doesn't actually go away? Like, that's weird. Mutable slice iterator. So basically this consumes the vector, right? Into iter here. Consumes the iterator, that is. One that moves each value out of the vector from start to end. The vector cannot be used after calling this again. That makes sense. All right. I know that needs lifetimes. Self.data.into iter. Okay. And the item here is immutable reference to T. One generic, but zero generic. Oh. Can this be self-referential at this point? Oh, I see. Oh, that's interesting. Type mismatch. Expected struct. Slice iter mute. Found struct. Vec into iter. Oh, sorry. There's multiples here. I was looking at the wrong one. We don't want that one. Here, this returns into iter. Standard vec into iter. There we go. All right, so whatever the T is, and that should be self item. No more lifetimes. Thank you. That did feel weird. Very nice. All right, now come back over here, wherever we were. Yep, now we can iterate through those. Perfect. Function is never used. Put, post, delete. Yeah, that's okay. All right. Next, for our next trick, see, we've got some extras of these. I think we should have them similar. See, like this. The props here. That should be a vec map. Oh, it doesn't have default. Okay, let's implement default for it. There we go. See, in this case, what they really want is content. Me. It's a reference to a string, but we have to. Or a widget in widgets. Maybe we should be consuming these. So we read it. Going to be breaking these things apart. I don't see why we couldn't just take ownership of that data. It's never going to be used again. Self.widgets bind a shared reference. Hmm. We just want to drain that. Want to consume all those things in there. Drain. Oh, the range. You have to give it a range. But I thought Intuiter would do the same thing. Back to where we were. Ah, but if it's for a mutable reference to that, I see. Then we have all the borrowing semantics here. It's immutable self instead. Okay. Hmm. I feel like we're still missing something. There it is. Why didn't we see that here? Let's give that a swift kick. There. So where are we? Template mod. Yeah, move occurred because page has type such and such, which does not copy, and that's taking ownership now. And then we check to see if the scripts are empty. All right, we can deal with that. I found it now. Oh, but my cursor is gone. Seriously. That session was messed up. All right. We were in templates mod page here. So we get a page, right? Then later we build widgets, which consumes the page. And then after that, we get the script stuff. Yes, is there a reason that we do this here? Could this be done before we consume the script? Here we're just generating the nonce and what is this value for? Oh, we're setting response headers. I think all of this can actually be done ahead of this. There we go. Now setting these headers should still be okay. Ordering on that should not matter. Okay. Oh, does page get moved into this? What is page in here? This is a new page. Oh. From a reference? Oh, from a page model. The naming on this is just, it's a little strange. It's a work in progress. 85 Filter, thank you for that follow. And good morning. Let's say we build the widgets here. What do we still have left in page that we need? What does this page need? Page, 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 page. The title of the page. the scripts of the page. And the language and the description. I see. So there is some stuff there. Here, let's move these other pieces back. All right. It's just going to be in here. Let's not take that like so. Take that as a mutable reference. We will take all of the widgets though. Do we need anything else other than... Maybe we should have taken the widgets in a different way. Oh, yes. All right. Future self will have to figure out that riddle. Okay. That works. Event. Ah, the headers. Same thing here. Vec map. We have default on that. Push and append. Maybe we should have renamed that. I do like push, but because it's a map now, right? Kind of. It's a funky map. It's a vec map. Oh. Wait, what's happening here? Previous is going to be the thing that we removed. And then we put the new thing on. Okay, that looks fine. All right. So slight difference here. So we don't actually keep the ones that were there. And there could have been more than one. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Well, retain's interesting. Hmm. When we do take, that's a swap remove. Okay. Let's add a little bit of documentation here. This is more of a bag. There we go. It's a bag. Maybe we should rename it to bag. Hmm. I don't know. Renaming it to bag would that'd be appropriate. Oh yes, that's probably gonna work. Okay. So if we are going to uh, we need something else on vector. Basically, I want to split these. Guess we could sort them and then split. So basically, put all of the ones we want to remove at the end or the head, cut it in half. All right. We are going to we're going to loop on take until we get none. What would that need to be an option if we have a vector? Because it'll be empty. Okay. Okay. Remove existing entries. Set the data. I guess we'll just append. Append should work there. That'll work. Okay. You can have more than one header of the same kind. So I think this returning a vector of strings is more appropriate. And can we get rid of headers? Right from headers for that. So we get rid of headers. Okay. I like the positive case better. All right, now we have one instance of that in the whole code base. Oh, that's nice. Okay. But we're going to rename it now. You shall become bag. Okay. And bag, if we really wanted to, could have a different value type. But when we get to that point, Okay. So that I think was a really good change. Anything else in there? Let's validate too. Form validation. This is in the wrong spot. All right. That's better. Let's clean up those. Hmm. Naming is hard. Validation. There we go. A little better. Session. Yeah, it's the same pattern over and over again. Remove validate. So there we'll have form validation again. And two on that. We do get the data back. There we go. Why does it think we're still calling validate? Oh, and two on that. There we go. Interesting. Never used. It's fine. Okay, that looks good. Let's go back and take a peek at bag again. Looks all right. Now, most of this isn't actually post data anymore. Let's create bag. Hmm. We don't use error in here? Oh, guess not. Uh, hmm. All right. Oh, it's private. What? No, it can't be private. Struct import bag is private. Pub struct lib. Bag is right there. Strange. Okay. Everybody seems to think it's private. Hey, Togglebit, how you doing? And welcome. Welcome, everyone. How are you doing? Goily goily? Is it Giley? Good morning. Got good? Good. Goodness. How is everyone today? Okay, how do you even say this? Lao Mao Boa? Loa Moa Boa? There we go. Good morning, everyone. Mr. Martin, how you doing? Well, we've just taken oh, and thank you for the follow. Got good? Loa Moa Boa, Mr. Martin, thank you for those follows. Now, we're in the middle of kind of changing some of the data types within mimeograph. Mimeograph is kind of like a WordPress meets Wix meets, build your own website, whatever, right? but it's serverless. That's on top of Cloudflare's workers. So we are working on that at the moment. And technically, I think I still have... This is kind of what it looks like. It's kind of in the early phases. Let me see. If we want to go to test here. Yes. So inside of here we have users. We were working on the user screen. We need a new logo. Right. So you can come in here. You can click on users. You can edit the users. Our setup page is actually gone. Oh, no, it's still there. So first initial kick, right? You set up your account. So we can do that. Now we can log in. And then we can go to the home page, which doesn't exist yet. We're on our way there. But kind of get a sense of what's going on. Is that time consuming more than using HTML and JS? It can be. I guess, like, if I were to just build the website that my neighbor wants, I'd be done already. Right? But what's the fun in that? So I'm building a website builder. The server backend is written in Rust. What kind of multiplayer game? Oh, hey, the multiplayer game is kind of on hold at the moment until I get the website stuff done. And Blake, thank you for that follow. This software is going to be used for building the website for the game, building the website for my company, and building a website for my neighbor. But it's kind of driven by my neighbor's needs. So this is kind of what it looks like at the moment. We are using Bulma for the CSS bits. So it's working all right so far. And inside of here, inside the depths of this, we've just tried to reuse one of our data structures and we renamed it. This used to be called form data. CRUD raster graph, it's all server-side rendered. So you'd use form posts and then the server generates more HTML. Yeah, I mean, look at all this. It's server-side and it's fast and it just works. Right. So that's here. If we disable the cache, we'll get a couple more things in here. Right. Well, we have tiny bits of JavaScript on the client side. We're using ionic icons or ion icons. Ionicons? I don't know how to say that. I think it's ionicons, but don't hold me to it. But in these cases here, like for that HTML load, all the HTML in that was actually server-side generated. And it's actually a little slower than I'd like it to be, but we are building it in development mode. So in 300 milliseconds, HTML in the client, and it's done. Actually, CDNCGI trace. Where are we going to? Oh, we're going to Portland at the moment. No wonder. Okay, yeah, it's a little slow because of that. But often I can get it down to about 120 milliseconds, depending on where we land. Like here, where it's doing nothing, we get our 404. Oh, what? See, that shouldn't even be taking 1 second. That's much too long for that. But yeah, that's actually kind of strange. I'll look into that later. But at the moment, we created this bag data structure from our form data, and we've got a couple errors. And Troy Gill, thank you for the follow. And Toggleman, thank you for the raid. I don't know if you have to run off or if you're just chilling for the evening. How was your stream? Oh, I see. This is coming from... That's coming from the wrong place. That's why. There we go. Yep. It's just coming from the wrong spot. Is it possible to be a back-end engineer without a degree? Yes, absolutely. I don't have a degree. And I've been doing back-end software for a long time. I think there's different things that come up. You have to be able to do really well in interviews. You have to have kind of a track record. So for me, I started out self-employed. And I think that was pretty good for getting hired into Silicon Valley. I went from being self-employed to working at Yahoo a long time ago. And it's great interview setup. It's really good. Okay, we got that. I think we're good with bag now. Okay, let's get that committed. You're afraid from Copilot to learn some coding? Oh, learning code from Copilot I don't think is a bad thing, right? It's just questionable whether or not Copilot produces derivations. Hey, literally, Josh, how you doing? And good morning. Good morning. More validation. Pac-Man Matty? Maybe he's afraid of being replaced by Copilot. Aren't we all? Where would Copilot be without the millions of lines generated by humanity? Yeah. Alright, how's this look? That looks okay. That's okay. Post data, yep. Now we just have this little conversion function at the bottom that creates a bag from post data. I think all of these are fine. Now we have users. Amir, thank you for that follow. They said he learns so fast. Well, somebody still has to write the comments. Where's Copilot going to be without comments? All right. Oh, this looks awesome. Yes, this is a great tool. This is called Get UI. You see down here, it's just Get UI. And here with the commit message, we could type it all in here, or we could take it off to the editor, or, oh, no, I don't want to amend. Okay. There. Exabyte, good morning. Yeah, this was a tool I just cargo. install Git UI, right? It's all there already. So that's right, Pac-Man Matty. You gotta still write all the comments because it doesn't know what your intentions are. All right, so back to the code. We had one other Git stash we were working on. Yeah, okay. Where's our this one page, models page? Hmm. So upstream, yeah, we want the prop of. So keep the top one, get rid of that, keep the stash there. There we go. All right. You're not afraid of this? You tried GUI tools like the built-in ones? Yeah. And I use Vim Fugitive mostly for diffs, right? That's where I end up needing it the most. Like GitHub Copilot implement is odd for me. Any success with Rust? Um, so yeah, I've used Rust on the back end for one of the projects and for the front end on both projects with GD Native, and that thing has grown so well. So GD Native there, um, you get all of the benefits of having kind of an engine that's got a great license, right? It's MIT licensed, and it's got time on devices, so you don't have to worry about supporting, some random like an Android device with crazy settings or whatever, right? They've already gotten those bugs. They've already figured that out. So, oops, trying to type cargo here. Good. Now we're back to where we had been. 55 errors. Oh, here. Oh, that's right. This is going away. I think this actually goes away altogether. Because this here is actually going to be replaced by pages admin with our definition of what the page looks like here. Okay, so this, I just removed this. Bye-bye. Okay. I know I'm hopping around kind of quick at the moment, but all right. We're almost to a point where this can work. Okay. Now the way that my system works is that the system mimeograph will eventually it will manage these JSON definition files, and it will store them in the KV store inside of Cloudflare, right? Because this is serverless. We don't have Postgres or Redis, etc. Right? So we need to be able to store page definitions somewhere. And our setup page, which you saw earlier, has one widget on it, right? It's just this admin setup widget. And I think I deleted it, actually. Yeah, it's gone. Let's go to login. We still have a login widget. Oh, not this song. Nope. So here you can see we've just got this login widget kind of plain on the page there. And if we go to pages login, you can see we've got a widget. We've actually got two widgets, flash and login. So if we fail the login for whatever reason, like super user or whatever, right, it's like, hey, this must be an email address. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. I'll give you an email address and we'll log in, right? And that actually sets a cookie here. And if we come back, you can see when we reload, it pulls this data from a cookie and shows the flash message. Let's see. You're really interested in Rust, but you're finding a reason to learn it difficult. Okay, you're a front-end dev, Flutter, and you've mostly done Node.js on the back end. I really like Rust. Now, I've done C and C++ stuff, and it matches up with some of the projects I would like to build. Right? I like that it can compile to WebAssembly, right? Especially for front-end stuff. If I really wanted to set up some new, like, I don't know, React data storage layer or something, I could actually do that in Rust now. And that's kind of attractive. I mean, there's some advanced things you have to learn to get the WASM size small, but it's available. And in fact, just learning Rust has made me a better programmer in other languages. So there's that aspect too. You find it quite similar to JS. Just got to remember to manage the memory. Oh, Rust won't let you forget. Yeah. So we've also implemented some really cool. Here, let me see if I can show you. Nonce setup. So you can see that we actually have a nonce tag on the script. Now Firefox is hiding the value from you. We're going to go look at it though. Now in this case, if we filter by HTML, click on login, go to the response raw data here. And if we go to the very end of this, where we have our script tags here, you can actually see that a nonce was injected right down here, right? And that nonce happens to be the same one that was provided in the headers. So the response headers have, in the content security policy, script source nonce, right? So basically, every request is like hardened, locked down. You can't inject anything into this, which is really exciting from like a security perspective. I'm really liking the ability to be able to render this stuff all server-side, all on Cloudflare. It's serverless. I don't have to manage the scaling. It's just fantastic. You love the nitty-gritty programming stuff in programming? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's like going from like a 10-piece puzzle to a 1,000-piece puzzle, you know? Oh yeah, compiler checks it all. It's strange but true, right? Like why would you do C++ now if you had the option of choosing Rust and you understood both at the same level, right? You would use C++ and C if the project was already in C and C++. But why else, right? If you had to start something new, like I would choose Rust. So this is kind of what the framework looks like so far. Now we can absolutely interact with a bunch of these. We have admin here now that we've logged in, right? And we're starting to build this out. Um, in different ways, it is, yeah. There are some very mature pieces of the Rust ecosystem, very mature pieces, specifically server software. Right, the amount of stuff that you can do on the server with Rust is it's mind-boggling. And Rust has a whole bunch of these like sites that help you understand what the community's at. Like, are we web yet? Here's a game one. Are we game yet? Oh, and thank you for the follows. Calico and Exabyte. So here, they have a whole bunch of these. They say, we're almost game yet. You can almost do stuff on the games, like full-fledged. You can actually do a full-fledged game. Yeah, bring your own glue. So if you're starting the right stuff, the community's there. There's all sorts of libraries. You can even compile Rust to WASM and have games in the browser, right? Because some of these GL libraries will actually compile to WebAssembly. And they can target WebGL, which is incredible. So there's all sorts of stuff available there. But here, so you can see that the game stuff is almost mature enough. But are we web yet? Here, I can never remember the full thing. Yeah. I remember when this said almost, right? And yes, it is amazingly fast. And this list has turned green over time. There used to be a lot of red in it. So, and then there's, are we learning yet? Oops, I missed it. Are we? Oh, it's right there. And it's a work in progress. It's ripe for experimentation, but the ecosystem isn't very complete yet. And over the next couple of years, you'll see this turn green just like the other one. Right? So, have I done any embedded work with Rust? I haven't. No, not yet. Although I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think that'd be a lot of fun with Rust. As there's the Rust embedded. I've got the book here. All sorts of stuff. So, Rust and Node.js? Hey, Dr. Demon Wolf, good morning. Good afternoon, good evening. Yep, we are doing Rust. Right now, we're doing Rust inside of not Node.js, but inside of Chrome. Well, the V8 engine from Chrome, right? We basically compile Rust down to WebAssembly, upload it to Cloudflare, where they have these, what they call V8 isolates. So if we look at their documentation here, Cloudflare docs, we want to go to workers. And they had, was it in here? Security model. Right, here's their control plane, right? And your V8 instance would be like down here. It would pick up your WASM code and run it. So they've got all this machinery set up. It's pretty cool. Memory and type safety, almost as light as typical C. Yeah. Oh, saw it on that page. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Rust and Node.js. You can compile Rust down to WebAssembly that Node.js can run. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So we've got a couple things here. We just had this code stashed. Admin tiles. Does that even exist? Admin tiles here. It does exist. These are the tiles on the admin page. Basically, where is it? Here. This little list of tiles. Let's see, can I? No, I can't. All right. So, templates mod. Where's admin tiles is here. It's public. That's pub future. Takes one event. That's so strange. Why? Oh, because it's not compiling this. Admin header. Why can't it find this? What's wrong? Oh, this is my editor freaking out. It's like, oh, I don't know about that. Okay. Maybe I should have just restarted COC. Only thing you've done somewhat low is Golang for a few projects. Go's also a fantastic language. Never done it, but I like the design principles on it. You need a crash course for Rust. Any suggestions? Yes. Um, yep. So there's a book, and that's a really great place to start, right? Especially if you have experience in other languages, right? So if you go to rustlang.org, they've got the book, the course, and Rust by example. Now, it kind of touches on how do you learn things, right? So are you better, you know, um, having little examples that are little challenges that you end up going through and building. There's also a couple other places. Exorcism.io has a Rust course. So here, I don't want to go to my tracks. I just want to go to Exorcism. Do I have to sign out to get to the page? Goodness. So yeah, you can see they've got a Rust track here. They've got a whole bunch of different things. Oh yeah, they have an entire book that's online and free, and you can have it local. So once you install Rust, do Rust up doc. Actually, my font is a little small today. I apologize for that. This should be about there. So you do a Rust up doc, okay, and then it'll launch your browser. Okay, then you have the Rust programming language. This is the book. Then you have Rust by example and Rustlings here. Now, this all local, right? The entire book. Right? Which is a great place to start. Oh, you did Exorcism.io for bootcamp and it really helped? Oh, fantastic. Yep, that's included locally. All the documentation's included locally. Let's see, Rust by example, also local. Rustlings, right? No, this is not local. But this is kind of the little course, little exercises that you can work through. Oh, and thank you for that follow, Siki. He did Cold Steel web development bootcamp to learn Node.js and JavaScript. Nice. And they even touched the internet. Hey, John Hoo Hoo. How you doing? Like Rust. We use daily, Dart, Go, etc. Yeah. Oh, you started learning a Vue Nuxt. Oh, I'm not familiar with that one. It's not as scary hard as you thought it was. Nice. That's very cool. Oh, and then there's also Easy Rust. And Easy Rust. Oh, Nuxt is server-side rendering for Vue. Gotcha. So here with Easy Rust, there's basically the walkthrough with a whole bunch of different concepts that are explained right, in text, or he went back and did them all as videos. Right? So you can just watch all of them via video, which is amazing. It's quite good. All right. So, can I close that for a moment? And there's other things in Rust like crates.io that have this fantastic sort of it's like a package manager, a library manager, whatever you want to call it. So lots of little things. Now, where were we? One argument. Okay, so page admin tiles wants event. Admin tiles is going to need to take the session stuff though, isn't it? I don't remember. Then the tooling is really, really improved. It's just amazing. The type changed. Take your widget. You too, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, redirect needs event as well. Okay. There we go. Tabs or spaces. Good morning, 715209. You want to use Rust for your side project, yeah? Admin panel to make work for a small e-commerce company. That'd be cool. Uh, yeah, you can use Rust and Docker. Absolutely. Okay, that needs to be mutable. Okay. So there we have that. Now, and when it doesn't, it sucks 10x as much. I'm going to raise my desk up. It's sitting too long. Fancy standing desk. This is my fancy, like, construction desk. I don't know. I have to crank it. It doesn't even take power, but that's how I prefer it. Right? A little exercise. You turn the crank, get your 60 reps in. Super fancy. All right. Yeah. I don't even remember what kind this is, but it's just like an adjustable height workbench from like I don't know, Home Depot or Lowe's or something. All right, let's see how large this is. And it's 300 kilobytes, so this will be about 100 compressed. And the max size is 1 megabyte. So we've got it a tenth of the way full, or a ninth of the way empty. And then I need some more water. Or Micro Center or anything really. Dealing with bugs nonstop. Also could just, yep. Let's see what happened there. Here. Huh. Looks like they fixed the rendering. But yeah, we had a little moment right there. I'm in Starlink. Pulled out the plug. Yeah, it looks like there was some download and upload. Interesting. I wonder what that was. Probably one of the kids doing some Windows update. Who knows? No, that's tomorrow, right? First Tuesday of the month? How much does it cost? Half as much as I was paying. So it is $99 a month. And I don't know, it's like 40 or 50 times faster than my last one. So I come down here, run a speed test. Let's see. Yeah. I used to get 4 megabit per second. Looks like we're only going to hit 150 today. 160? I've actually maxed out the hardware. I think I've been able to get 400. So, yeah. But it works out pretty well. So, other than the little drops, which are getting better and better the more they launch satellites, it's just been great. All right, now we were going to look at redirect. So, we're building up a permission system. If we look at pages admin, so the admin page here, I want to have this one widget here, okay, which is a redirect widget, right? It's got some props on here for the flash message. That's something that gets set when you do get redirected, right? And in this case, if you do not have this permission, then this widget should be included, okay? So we're going to be working on permissions right here, parsing that and setting that up. So here, where we're building the widgets, this is where we iterate over them. We should check the permissions of the widget to make sure. We've got the session here, and the session has the roles, and the roles has the permissions. Okay. Word from rupees. You live in India? So that seems quite steep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Also, I'm in the middle of nowhere, so I mean, they just don't have infrastructure here for that. Right. Before I was using a microwave to connect to like the top of a mountain, a tower on the mountain. No, there are some places where you can get like, fiber, and if I got fiber, it would be 1,500 a month, 1,500 to $2,000 a month for fiber here, which is just crazy. All right, so the widget has permissions, and it'll be empty or not. Now, what do we do if you don't have a permission on something? Is that permissive or is that closed? I see we got closed by default. Yeah, someone 5209. I mean, it would be business fiber, so like full on connected to the backbone of the internet fiber, like no middleman sort of fiber. But it's way out of my price range. Would Starlink be cheaper in the big cities in the US? No, it would be the same price, but it's not really designed for big cities. Um, it's Starlink is really targeted at kind of places where I am, kind of rural places. It can work effectively in a big city. It's just that there would be fewer installations per capita in a big city. Because you basically have to time slice your time with the satellites. All right, so if widget.permissions dot I think so, right? Because it's radio, right? Any sort of radio technology, you end up subdividing the available bandwidth. Now, Starlink has a much denser field right above you. So, there's much more available bandwidth. And theoretically, you can like receive from one and target the other and do all sorts of crazy things with Starlink. But, so, sadly, it looks like I must go. Well, y'all, something's come up, and it happens to be 4th of July cake because we couldn't do fireworks here. And so we made a birthday cake for the United States. And it looks like we're having leftover birthday cake for breakfast and coffee, my favorite. Um, and it's kind of my day off. So I got to spend some time with my family today. No offense, I like them more than you. Not that much more. Well, actually, I don't know you all that well. So, but we've hung out a bunch. So I appreciate y'all hanging out. Um, oh, don't take offense to it. If we ever end up at like a TwitchCon or something, we could hang out. All right, y'all. Um, we're gonna raid. Ooh, Brooke or Cliff? All right, let's go with Brooke. We often get raids from Brooke. All right. Yeah, you too. Y'all have a great day. Um, yeah, I'm really blessed that you're here with me. I couldn't have done this without you. Like, I really couldn't. Just having people with me helps me get further through this. So thank you. All right. Till next time, y'all. Bye-bye.